Hi, and thanks for tuning in to Suite Talk with Taylor. Today we're going to be discussing the Items Database feature within ConstructionSuite, which can be used in conjunction with on-cost estimating in order to track your quotes for items within ConstructionSuite, as well as entering those items into the estimate. Now, the Items Database can be located on the left-hand sidebar by navigating to the Estimating tab, and then selecting the Items Database tab at the top. Now, the Items Database comes preloaded with costbook data from RSMeans, which is one of the world's leading providers of cost data. As you can see here, there are many different types of cost books available to choose from. The ones you'll see here will depend on your version of ConstructionSuite, but just as an example, we do have civil, commercial, electrical, repair and remodeling, and residential, just as some examples you'll see here. We're going to be working out of the residential cost data for the time being, the Master Format 16 division. So we're going to check that box and select OK. Now, as you can see here, each cost book includes a large catalog of items with quotes for material, labor, and other costs, which can be searched by expanding the category trees on the left-hand panel over here, or simply by searching in the search bar up top. For example, if we were to search for beadboard, we would go ahead and type in beadboard up here at the top, and the database will bring up a list of item costs for all sizes and materials of beadboard that are present in this cost book. Now, by default, the costs shown are national averages collected by RSMeans, but if you would like to display local averages or averages in a certain location, you can choose the multiplier drop-down up here in the top right to choose from either the company location, project location, a Canadian multiplier for different provinces in Canada, or a local zip code to go ahead and enter, which we have entered here, and that will give you the local averages for material, labor, and so on for each of these items as opposed to the national average. Now, you also have the ability to create your own cost book and add your own items and quotes within the Items Database. You can do this by navigating to the New drop-down and selecting New Cost Book up here at the top toolbar. Once you do this, you'll be prompted to enter a name, and we'll just say that this is going to be Taylor's Cost Book. And once you've done that, you can select OK. Now you'll see that we have a brand new cost book to work with. We can navigate over here to the left-hand side and add our categories or subcategories through the drop-down menu to build the framework of the item and category tree that we're going to see over here in the left-hand panel. Once you generate your categories and subcategories, you can then begin adding items to each category as you please. So once you do that, you can go ahead and click this link right here. It'll bring up the new item form, and you can give this a name. Let's just continue with the beadboard here and say that this is going to be by square feet, which you can go ahead and choose your unit and search here. Select OK. Give a description and notes if you would like, and once you've put the information in for the item, you can click this Add Quote link right here to begin adding your material, labor, or other quotes for the item. Now you'll see here the first option is to choose that classification, which I just mentioned, so material is going to be the one for this one. You can choose a vendor if you would like to say where you're getting this quote from to compare your vendors with other vendors or suppliers that you're working with to see which one's going to be the best deal. The date that it's issued, the date that it's going to expire, which by default is 3 months ahead of the issue date, but you can certainly change that expiration date if you would like. And then you can actually go ahead and put your quote in. So let's say that this is just going to be $2 per square foot. We can put any additional notes in if we would like, set this as the default, and select OK. So now you'll see that we have a material quote shown here. Let's go ahead and add another quote for labor just to give it a good comprehensive view. We'll go ahead and say that this is going to be $5 per square foot, which is a little pricey, but we'll just go ahead and go with it for this one. Select OK. And now you'll see that in our database for our new category, we have our item beadboard, which can be expanded to view both the material and the labor quotes that we have here. Now, the Items Database can be used to help you estimate your jobs by entering items directly into your estimate based off of these existing quotes. If you would like to enter quotes for an item, such as material or labor, into the estimate, go ahead and select Add Item here from the link in the estimate at the bottom of any subcategory. Select to insert the item from the database, and it will bring up your selection of cost books that you have available. Here we're still in Taylor's Cost Book, and we just have this one beadboard item. So if you would like to enter the material quote, you can select this arrow right beside it, same for the labor. Or if you would like to enter both the material and labor quote for an item, you can come over to the total, select the arrow to enter it into estimate. It'll prompt you for the quantity to enter, so we're going to go ahead and say that this is going to be 200 square feet. Select OK. And when we close the Items Database here, you'll see that we now have beadboard in here twice, once for material, once for labor, both with that 200 square foot quantity, and this will total up and factor into our subcategory total. Now another powerful feature within ConstructionSuite Items Database is the Assemblies feature. So let's go ahead and go back to one of our RSMeans Cost books really quickly so you can see some of the preloaded assemblies. And what assemblies are going to be is a collection of items. They can actually all be entered at the same time in order to create an entire new subcategory in order to save you valuable time on services that you perform often. Now you can use one of the existing assemblies here in the RSMeans Cost books if you would like and insert this into the estimate to give an entire new subcategory. Or, if you're back in your own custom cost book, you can certainly create your own assembly by navigating to the Assemblies tab and clicking the Add Assembly link over here on the right. You can give the assembly a name, and again, we'll just say Taylor's Assembly for this one. Choose the units and a description if you would like, and then you can begin adding the items to customize what's going to compose your assembly. So if you click this Add Item link, you'll see that in the background here, it will take us to the Items section again of the Items database. You can then begin to choose the quotes that you would like to insert. So let's say we're going to add this material quote. We're also going to add the labor quote. And now you'll see that our assembly is made up of the material and labor quote for the beadboard. Now, of course, this is the same thing as if we insert the total, but you can combine these if we had more items to add 10, 20, 50 items to an assembly if you would like to. Select OK once we're done. And now if we go back to our ConstructionSuite estimate, we can go in, add an item, insert the item from the database, choose the assembly this time instead of the items. And if we insert the assembly, we can go ahead and choose to insert one assembly. And you will now see that this will add the entire new subcategory for the assembly name, put all of the items that are part of that assembly into the estimate, and you will then be able to quickly create subcategories for those services that you perform often. Now, as a Total Care member, the RSMeans costs are updated on a quarterly basis to ensure that the most recent costs are accessible. So if you would like to update your estimate when the new data is available to those updated costs, simply come up to the Estimating tab and select this Refresh All Items Cost option from the toolbar, and any items linked to the Items database will now show the current average cost as opposed to the one when you first put it in. As you can see, the Items database within ConstructionSuite is a goldmine of cost information just at the click of a button, and with the ability to add your own vendor quotes and cost books to the existing data, reliable and cost-effective estimating has never been faster. Thanks for tuning in to Suite Talk.